Hello again. Today I'll be talking about 3D printing technology and what interests me about it. Background of 3D printing. To begin with, 3D printing technology is the method in which you can create a three-dimensional object using a computer-created design. Also, 3D printing tends to make material more efficient and not waste resources. 3D printing tends to lay down layers of material until a full object is created. Along with that, there's different types of 3D printing that a certain individual can use in order to fulfill his or her expectations and assignments. Types of 3D printing. As you can see on my slides, there are stereolithography, selective laser sintering, and fused deposition modeling. Starting with the definition of stereolithography, it means the printing process used to create difficult parts with intricate geometries in as fast as one day. Selective laser sintering, on the other hand, is a technique involving a laser that builds the material together to create a solid structure. Lastly, fused deposition modeling, or for short, FDM, is the idea used to construct and is common when producing an application. Although I only mentioned a couple, I named these three because I felt like these were the main components when associated with 3D printing technology. Pros and cons of using 3D printing. Pros include flexible design, rapid prototyping, and as far as that, 3D printing can make prototyping more process faster, and overall an efficient experience. Another pro is print on demand. It doesn't need a lot of space, which saves costs. Many people don't want to spend a lot of money when trying to implement and gather their resources into a certain thing. Cons include limited materials, which in translation, some metals cannot be temperature controlled enough to allow 3D printing. Another con is that there's reduction in manufacturing jobs. This is a con because if a machine is simply going to do the job, many people will not do labor, which can most likely result in job loss for the economy. Access to a 3D printer. While researching for nearby locations, I found that Advanced World Products and Proto Cafe are highly rated businesses that mention and access the topic of 3D printing. If you prefer to purchase a 3D printer, you can purchase at a nearby store, which can range from $200 to $6,000, depending on the person's ideal choice and advancement in the printer. A 3D printer would be ideal for someone who is pursuing an engineering degree, or simply 3D printing is used by companies like Ford and BMW when in manufacturing process. What interests me about 3D printing? Something that interests me while observing the information about 3D printing is how the right printer can create something innovative, as well as I feel like process is way easier. My perspective on this also is that 3D printing will increase in the future as far as people will be using equipment and create the product that a certain individual wants. To conclude on my interest with 3D printing, I feel like whatever I pursue in as far as major, 3D printing will be implemented in my studies, and one day I would want to make something to improve the society. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and hopefully my insight on 3D printing helped you develop a more broad idea and development on 3D printing.